This is Arvin Vora, founder of Vora Method and author of How to Get Into an Ivy League College. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you make an answer interesting. It's going to apply to everything from the short one-word answers to the long and complex essays. So, there are basically three phases to creating something interesting. First, you want to have an interesting topic. An interesting topic is usually going to come from some kind of specificity. In order to create that, you might be using analogical reasoning, you might be using categorization, you might be using reversals, or just you might have some moment of inspiration that brings some sort of an interesting topic. In the next phase, so let's say you're doing an essay, in the next phase, this is the research phase. You need to find some interesting facts about the topic. So let's say the topic is sleep. You need to find some interesting facts about sleep. What makes a fact interesting? Well, it's interesting if it's not commonly known, and it's something interesting if you're like, did you know that the average amount of sleep takes like the following number of nanoseconds? Yeah, that's maybe people might not know that, but it's also, who cares? It's not interesting. But if you say like, did you know that the ancient Egyptians thought that sleep was when you were actually awake and when you're awake was actually sleep? All right, that's sort of interesting. So the point is, interesting just means something interesting, something where if you told us something, they'd be like, oh, that's cool, not so. So you'd have to do the interesting facts. Where do you get the interesting facts from? Research. If whatever topic you're talking about, whether it's for a short answer, whether it's for a one-word answer, whether it's for a full essay, you have to do research on that topic. How much research? A lot. How many interesting facts should you have about any given topic? Well, if it's a one-word answer, you need about 10 facts. If it's an entire essay, you probably need about 20 facts. 20 interesting facts where somebody's going to say like, hey, that's a cool fact. And then the final phase is to create interesting perspectives on that topic. So how do you create an interesting perspective? You generally use the Holy Trinity: reversals, categorization, analogical reasoning. So let's look at how this applies to various types of questions. Suppose that it's just a one-word answer. What's your favorite color? Well, in that case, you're probably not going to be able to have interesting facts and interesting perspectives necessarily. But you can at least maybe do something with specificity. So if somebody's going to ask me my favorite color and I want to do something specific with it, I'm going to find a color that goes beyond, has some kind of experience. I might talk about, say, the metallic colors and Crayola crayons that everybody likes because they go on so smoothly and you can color over other colors. So maybe Crayola's copper. I might talk about some very particular color that appears in a very unusual way. So the specific color of the sky in some particular circumstance, or the particular color of tap water in a particular way. I mean, like something very, very specific, right? Those very, very specific moments they capture the imagination. They're different. They're more exciting. If you just say purple, well, then you probably about 1/7 of the people applying there are going to have the same answer. And if you say some particular shade of purple that has some other powerful association, not just like light purple, I mean like the exact purple of some type of Windex or something like that. I mean, if it's something specific, it's going to have a lot more power. So one is the interesting topic. Interesting facts about the topic. If it's just a color, there's not that much you can do, but you can probably get one or two facts in there. You might say a particular color of something which has this additional significance, right? Now, if you're doing just like a one or two word answer, are you going to have room for interesting perspectives? I don't know. You might be able to. You might be able to get some kind of a reversal. You might be able to get some kind of an analogical reasoning. Now let's look at the opposite extreme, a full essay. First phase, you get that interesting topic. Where do the interesting facts come from? From tons and tons of research on it. You need to know things that are true, that are cool about the topic, that most people don't already know about the topic, that the average person doesn't already know. And you have plenty of space for interesting perspectives. Now let's look at some medium length things. What if it says like, what's your favorite book? And you can say, well, my favorite book is, let's say you start off with Harry Potter. It's already wrong. You know why? Everyone's read it. Millions of people have read it. It's the wrong answer. You might say Game of Thrones. Wrong answer. You might say whatever book you most recently read in English class. Wrong answer, because if you're reading in English class, probably at least everyone in your class is reading it, and probably about 5 million other people. So if the question is, what's your favorite book? You better start off with a book that is not commonly read. That's just obvious. Interesting facts about the topic. Do you have room for that? Yeah, of course. You can put in a couple facts in there. And an interesting perspective, absolutely. You can talk about what it meant to you, as in like what was happening in your life at the time, or what it made you see about the world that you didn't see before about the world. Now, let's say we take that to a slightly longer one. Let's say, talk about a character in a book, or a quote in a book, or something like that in a book that inspires you. Well, we start off with the interesting topic. That means a book that most people haven't read. You find an interesting character in that book. If it's a book that basically no one has read, you can pick the main character. If not, you can pick something else. Interesting facts. Again, make sure you've read the book, researched the book, you've read articles about the book, you have more perspective on it, so you can say some interesting things about it. And once you have those topics, then once you've done that research phase, you then add the perspectives, the reversals, the analogical reasoning, the categorization. So whether you're doing a very short, 1 or 2 word things, and you can, even if it's a 1 word answer, you can squeeze and easily get away with putting a sentence in there. Unless it's absolutely like you can only write 1 word, then that's what you're kind of stuck with. But you usually have some wiggle room there, or an entire essay or anything in between. These are the phases. Make sure your topic is interesting. What does interesting mean for a topic? Ask yourself this: is it conceivable that somebody else has picked that topic? If so, no, it's not that. It's not that. Is it conceivable that somebody's going to say their favorite book is Great Gatsby? Yes, so don't pick it. Harry Potter? Yes. Thrones? Yes. This random book sitting on my desk called Lord of the World that I haven't read? No, because it's just not that common a book. So that would be a perfectly good one. I think I actually don't know anything about the book. So that's the first phase. Your topic cannot be something that somebody else has chosen. If it's a popular book, or a book that's made into a movie, even worse, it's not an option at all. Interesting facts about the topic. Take your time, find something interesting. Sometimes people ask, well, can I do this without reading the book? I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, you probably won't do probably not very well, but can it be done? Yeah, it can. I wouldn't recommend it. To me, that's an insane idea. If you think that you can con the Harvard admissions office into believing that you are more knowledgeable about this type of book than the average Harvard applicant, I mean, be my guess, but I think that idea is just reckless to the point of idiotic. And then finally, after that research phase, you add the interesting perspectives. Which of these phases is the biggest one? It's that middle phase, the research phase. Whatever it is you're doing, you have to do the background research on it. Sometimes that research is going to be an hour or 2. Sometimes it's going to be 20 or 30 hours. It's never going to be 2 minutes of research. So if you're going to really create a compelling essay, a compelling application, you're going to have to do research. Now, some of you guys will be writing about things that you actually already know about. If you actually already know about it, you might not need to do too much additional research. But if you're, kind of doing any kind of a fake out, if you're writing anything if you're writing, showing passion about something that you are not already an actual world-renowned expert in, you will have to do serious research on this. Conning without researching is an insane idea. Don't even think about doing it. It's not going to go anywhere good. So anyway, those are the rules. Interesting topic, interesting facts, which means several hours of research, and then finally interesting perspective, which means several hours of thinking after you've done the several hours of research.